Donald John Trump, former President of the United States, is not guilty as charged in the article of impeachment.
President Trump just put out the following statement. I want to first thank my team of dedicated lawyers.
Moments after the verdict, Trump sent a statement from his gaudy winter palace in Florida.
This has been yet another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. No president.
Even as Trump's words were crawling across TV screens, the most powerful Republican senator rose to his feet to declare open war on the former president over his role in the Capitol insurrection.
Former President Trump's actions preceded the riot were a disgraceful dereliction of duty.
It was a belated intervention from Mitch McConnell, for years the president's most powerful ally. Unlike 7 of his fellow Republican senators, he had voted to acquit Trump for constitutional reasons. Now, he suggested, Trump should face criminal prosecution.
President Trump is still liable for everything he did while he was in office. Didn't get away with anything yet.
Less than a week ago, the team of House Democrats arrived at the US Capitol to begin the trial, walking through the January 6 crime scene. Most of them were prosecutors before they entered politics. Here to put a president on trial on charges he incited a riot which endangered both their democracy and their lives.
Let's go! That's our house!
At 2:30, I heard that terrifying banging on house chamber doors. I will never forget that sound. Shouts and panicked calls to my husband and to my sons.
The kids hiding under the desk, placing what they thought were their final texts and whispered phone calls to say their goodbyes. They thought they were going to die.
No matter the force of their arguments, these Democrat prosecutors faced an insurmountable hurdle. The majority of Republican senators had already decided that the impeachment trial of a former president was unconstitutional. They were backed by some influential voices, such as Alan Dershowitz, who defended Trump in his first impeachment trial in 2019.
The emphasis should be on the lack of jurisdiction in the Senate to put a former president on trial, and on the First Amendment protecting the speech, the horrible speech, the terrible speech that Donald Trump made. I don't support the speech in any way, but I think it was constitutionally protected.
Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, also argued that the trial was unconstitutional and warned it would backfire politically.
This feeds Donald Trump's narrative that the deep state is against him and against his followers. The best thing to do here is to leave him alone, sitting by the swimming pool at Mar-a-Lago.
There were powerful voices on the other side of the debate. Neil Katyal has argued many cases in the Supreme Court. He was acting Solicitor General under President Obama.
How compelling is the case for incitement?
It's airtight. I mean, you know, the only way that you could not, I think, vote for it is by closing your eyes and covering up your ears and pretending what's real isn't real.
You look at the constant lies that he spouted about we won and we won big. This wouldn't have happened. People wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for Donald Trump.
Congressman Jimmy Panetta is the son of the former CIA director, Leon Panetta.
It was the most disturbing event in my 50 years of public life. In a addition to that, my youngest son was there. And so it immediately raised concern about his life.
I firmly believe in my watching of the video, that group would have stormed onto the House floor and there could have been a lot more death and destruction.
In the COVID-riddled Capitol, this is as close as we can get to the Senate chamber.
Mr. President,
Congresswoman STACEY Plaskett is drawing links between President Trump and his most extreme followers.
the violence, it was foreseeable.
Evacuated all of the senators and House representatives. We have done our job now.
You can hear an officer declare that there is a riot at the Capitol at 1:49 p.m.
Multiple capital injuries. Multiple capital injuries. This is now effectively a riot.
The defense rejected all evidence of Trump's behavior before the insurrection, his pushing of the big election lie, his courting of extremists, his support of violence by his supporters. The incitement, they argued, could only be proved by what he did and particularly what he said on the day. And that, they argued, was merely politics, as practiced by both sides.
Even political speech that may incite unlawful conduct is protected from the reach of government punishment.
Nancy! Oh, Nancy! If they had found Speaker Pelosi, they would have killed her.
Prosecutors showed in graphic detail how close politicians came to falling into the hands of what had become a lynch mob.
You can see Vice President Pence and his family quickly moved down the stairs. As Pence was being evacuated, rioters started to spread throughout the Capitol.
Having been singled out by Trump, the vice president had a target on his back.
This was the crowd's response to Donald Trump's days of relentless attacks on his own vice president. They erected a gallows with a noose.
Now, even after it was clear to any reasonable observer that Vice President Pence was in serious danger, the president sent a further tweet attacking his own vice president.
The most frustrating thing about this historic trial was the Senate's failure to use its subpoena powers to call witnesses who could testify to Trump's actions on January the 6th. An 11th hour attempt by a Republican congresswoman to offer her testimony about Trump's behavior looked like it could upend the trial.
Is the respondent Donald John Trump guilty or not guilty?
But in order to move quickly to a final vote, a political deal was done behind the scenes, with Republicans and Democrats agreeing to avoid any further investigation.
Mr. McConnell, not guilty.
If Mitch McConnell is right, only a criminal trial will get to the bottom of what happened in the White House that day.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.